Hello class, we're in chapter number 2 talking about food for vitality today. Some of you may have wondered, why don't we have a chapter 1 test? The reason why is because we are moving fast. We have this week and then the next week of academics and we are actually done. But we still have a long way to go for our health book. So what we're going to do for the next 2 weeks that we have, we are going to skip some sections, and I have marked some of the sections that I feel is very important for you. So we are going to skip some sections. We're not going to have any tests. We might have a quiz, but we are going to try our best. I'm going to do my best to get close in finishing our health book. But today we are in chapter number 2, learning about how our body needs energy. Where are we going to get that energy? So it's going to talk about where we get that energy. We get it from nutrients. Nutrients is a substance found in food that will help your body grow and develop. They nourish your body and give you energy. That means you need to eat for what you need to eat for your body to grow. You need to eat to have energy. You need to eat for your body to fight infections. I remember yesterday I did talk about rest, and I said you need extra sleep because your body is growing. Your body will not grow if you are not eating. Make sure you are eating the right nutrients so your body can grow, so your body can develop. In addition to that, make sure you're eating well so you can have enough energy. So energy is the ability to do work. Every action uses energy. What is an action? Is movement. So every action uses energy. All of the energy will come from the nutrients in the food that you eat. That's why sometimes we actually feel dizzy after lunch. And as we were running around during recess time, and we just feel dizzy. The reason why is because we didn't get enough energy from our food. And I've seen that several times because we don't eat all the food that is given to us during lunchtime. The reason why you feel dizzy, the reason why you feel tired is because you just used up all of your energy. You need enough energy in your body so you can just run around and do stuff, to do some action. So all the energy comes from nutrients in the food that you eat. So make sure you are eating. Food itself is not just going to give you energy, but remember, it's also going to help you grow. It's going to help you develop. It's going to nourish your body. It's going to fight infections. So lots of things as you are eating well. So make sure you are eating well. Make sure you eat everything that your parents give you. Either is fruits or vegetables or other stuff like steak. Make sure you are eating it well. Moving on to the different types of nutrients, we have the carbohydrates and fats. They supply your body with fuel for energy. Carbohydrates is the one that will give the most energy, and fat as well. So it says if they are not used for energy, just like I said, carbohydrates, they give you lots of energy. If you don't use up all of that energy, they are stored in your body as fat. That's why people walk around their neighborhood after lunch, after dinner, and all stuff. It's because they have to use up that energy that they gained from eating that food. Because if they don't use all of that energy, your body will store that energy and it will just turn into fat. What is another nutrient that we have to know is protein. Protein will provide your body with material for growth and repair. So protein is what will help you grow. Protein is what will help you fight infections. Protein is going to help you your body to repair. So for example, if your bone is broken, a very good source of food that you want to get is protein. It will help your body repair that faster. So we do need those three nutrients, which are carbohydrates, fats, and protein. There are other nutrients that we do have to know. We have vitamin, minerals, water, and fiber. Fiber is the indigestible carbohydrate. But let me go ahead and talk about water and the important nutrients that we have to know. All of you should know that I don't drink that much water. Okay? That's why my goal in 2020 was what? Drink lots of water. Have I reached that goal? I'll say yes. I've been drinking lots of water, um, especially during quarantine, because I don't have any other thing to drink. I only have water with me. So I've been drinking lots of water recently. But let me go ahead and tell you though, I actually feel healthier. I actually feel uh, more energy in my body. And I don't feel that tired. But whenever I was drinking Coke or whenever I drank lots of coffee, I felt tired after drinking Coke or after drinking coffee. But water, though, kept me hydrated the entire time. It gave me energy. Um, it made my body healthier and all stuff. So please, as I would tell you as a personal experience, because all of you know that I don't drink that much water, is drink water. Water is a very, very important nutrient for you, especially as you are growing. Moving on to a balanced diet. Let's go ahead and talk about what is a balanced diet. A balanced diet is a diet that contains all the nutrients necessary to keep your body healthy. That means you want to have a mixture of all the nutrients in your 3 meals to keep your body healthy. You don't want all 3 meals to be fat, fat, and fat. You don't want your 3 meals to be all protein, 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 or carbohydrates, carbohydrates, or carbohydrates. What you want a mixture of all three. For breakfast, you can have carbohydrates because it's going to prepare for our day. We need energy. So you can have carbohydrates for the morning, but you can have some fat and protein for lunch, and then you can end up with protein during dinner. So you want a mixture, a good mixture of nutrients to keep your body healthy. Moving on, let's go to learn about our first nutrient, are about carbohydrates. So carbohydrates, over half of the food that you eat should be in the form of carbohydrates. The reason why is because carbohydrates is the one that will give us the most energy. So as you can see, it will supply your body with most of its energy. That's why we need carbohydrates. We are not still 24 hours, but we are constantly moving. Even though when I'm talking, I'm using energy. When I'm writing on a paper, I'm using energy. When I'm walking, I'm using energy. So I'm using energy the entire time, but what will give me that energy? Most of this energy will come from carbohydrates. The reason why is because it's foods with sugar and starch in them. I don't know if you have felt, but if you eat lots of sugar, what happens? You feel like you have like tons of energy and you start running around the class and all stuff. It's because carbohydrates are food with sugar and starch in them, and they will supply you with most of its energy. Moving on, the molecules of carbohydrates are like long chains. There are two different chains in the carbohydrates. We have the short chains, which are simple carbohydrates, and then we have the long chains, which are the complex carbohydrates. As we eat our carbohydrates, though, most of the carbohydrate food that we eat should be complex carbohydrates. Sweet foods are not a good source of carbohydrates. I did talk about sugar. And some of you are going to say, yes, that means I can eat chocolate the entire time because that's going to give me carbohydrates. Or some of you are going to say, yes, I can add tons of sugar to my food because that's going to give me lots of energy. Sweet food, though, is actually not a good source of carbohydrates. It's not gonna be good for you. So make sure you reduce your amount of sweet food because it's not gonna give you lots of carbohydrates. Your body needs vitamin. Vitamin was another important nutrient, and minerals to change sugar into energy. Where can we get that vitamin? Where can we get that mineral? Give it a guess. Where can you get that vitamin and where can you get that mineral? Let's look at that our picture. Look at the picture and look at the left. What do you have? You have fruits and you have vegetables. Those are the carbohydrates that will give you vitamin and minerals. And those are the foods that will change sugar into energy. So fruits and vegetables will give you the most carbohydrates when you are not very active. I don't know if some of you have seen people who like sports, they actually eat lots of fruits. The reason why is because they will give you lots of carbohydrates. So make sure you're eating your fruits, make sure you're eating your vegetables, especially your vegetables. Most of the times we tend to eat lots of fruits, but we don't eat lots of vegetables. I was like that in 5th grade, and I was like that in middle school and high school. I actually changed after I went to college. But you want to eat your vegetables as well. You want a balanced diet. Remember, a balanced diet. You want a good mixture of fruits and vegetables. Today, I would say I eat more vegetables than I do eat fruits. But you want a good mixture of both fruits and vegetables. Let's go ahead and talk about our next one, fats and oils. Some of you are going to look at my picture right away and be like, that's the food that I want right now. Some of you are already calling your parents, Mom, let's order some pizza today. Mom, let's go and get some hamburger today. Okay? This type of food is the least amount that we want to get during the day, the least nutrient that we want to get. Let's go and talk about why. Oils, fats that are liquid are room temperature. We have two different types of oils. We have the unsaturated fat, which is the vegetable oils and the fish oils. And then we have the saturated fat, which is animal fat, which are usually solid at room temperature. Which type of fat oil is going to be better for you? Let's go ahead and ask you, which type of oil do you think is going to be better? Vegetable oil or animal fat? Vegetable oil is going to be better. So unsaturated fats are better for us. And then we have the hydrogenated oil. That means the more hydrogen that is added, the harder the oil becomes and the more saturated it will become. So we want to have unsaturated fat vegetable oils and fish oils. This is the least that we want to get. We don't want to have lots of fats as we are changing food into energy. But let me go and tell you though, everyone needs to eat some fat and oil. Everyone. But the problem is we eat too many. We just eat a big amount of fat. We just eat a big amount of fats and oils. So we want to reduce that amount because that is the least that we want to get. Moving on to our last one, we have to learn about protein. Protein is going to be good for your skin, nails, hair, muscles, internal organs, and even your brain because it's all that stuff that I just mentioned is actually made largely of protein. Some of you have seen people that actually work out a lot and they say, I'm drinking lots of protein. The reason why is because protein is very good for your muscles. When your hair is very thin, you want to have some protein, especially for your nails as well. I'll say, girls, if you want nice nails, you want to have a good amount of protein because skins, nails, hair, muscles, internal organs, and even your brain is largely of protein. Moving on, if you are growing, not going, growing rapidly, you need extra protein. So I did talk about yesterday I did talk about how our body is growing very fast. You want extra protein for your body to grow correctly. So if you are growing rapidly, which is right now 5th grade all the way to middle school, you want to have extra protein. So when are you going to have some protein in your 3 meals? You actually want to have protein at every single meal. You need milk, which is a very good source of protein, and some other protein food at every single meal. That means for breakfast you want protein, for lunch you want some protein, and for dinner you would like some protein as well. Breakfast, your protein could be the milk. For lunch, the protein could be something else. It could be cheese, I'll say. And for dinner, your protein could be steak. So make sure you're having protein at every single meal. Why do we want some protein for our 3 meals? The reason why is because our body will use the protein better whenever it is divided among 3 meals. That's when our body will use up that protein the better. People do say that you want the most protein during dinner is because we get some sleep, we rest after dinner, and that's when our body is growing the fastest. So we want to have more protein during dinner. But I'll say just divide it evenly for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So that's going to be our lesson for today. What you are going to do, you're going to read chapter number 2, page number 19, all the way to 21. You're going to skip page number 22 and 23 and move directly to page 24. And you're going to stop at the quick checkup. After you're done reading, you're going to do quick checkup in page 24. And that's going to be your classwork for today. Make sure, though, that you eat your nutrients. Make sure you have your carbohydrates. Make sure you have your protein and very few fat. Okay? And very important, have some water. Eat your fruits and vegetables as well. Goodbye.